and get into motion. Somebody just dropped a link to the tickets in the chat. You want to go there to make sure you get your tickets because, again, family, once these tickets sell out again, and they're going to be gone in the next, I would say maybe next tonight, 2-3 days or so, they're going to be gone. So you want to make sure that you have your ticket, right? So here's the deal, family. Uh, uh, I come to understand some things over the past few years in network marketing, but more importantly, just over the course of my life. And I believe that in every aspect of life, whether it's business, whether it's sports, whether it's job life, whatever the case may be, I believe that the secret to the next level is found in this one word, right? The secret to the next level, because everybody wants to go to the next level. That's not even the question. That's not up for debate. No matter where you are, what level you're on, whether you're super rich or super poor, everybody has another level that they can go to. And that's what success is all about. Success is not about you hitting a goal. Let's say it's $10,000 a month and you stay there, because as soon as you get to 10,000 a month, you're going to want $25,000 a month. You're going to want more. So success is a constant process, a constant flow of evolving and chasing after new goals. My man Earl Nightingale would call it the progressive realization of a worthy goal. So something that's progressive. So the secret to the next level, the secret to massive success, and the secret to promotion is going to be found in this one word. And the one word is focus. All right, that's the word, right? So the secret to the next level is found in focus. If you find somebody who's super successful and they've been doing it for a long period of time, like a Mike Tyson, for an example, or a Kobe Bryant, or a David Emonite, Michael Jordan, doesn't matter the name that you name. They had the ability to stay focused for a very, very, very long period of time. And the thing about focus, family, you don't really know if you're focused until you have an opportunity to not be focused, right? You don't really know if you're 100% locked in until you have the opportunity to lock in on something else or go another direction. You don't really know if you're focused, right, on the great thing until a good thing shows up, because a lot of people, they lose sight of the great thing because something good showed up. So focus is not just being able to focus on the great thing, but it's also being wise enough, smart enough, focused enough to ignore the thing that could be good, because everything that seems good, it may not be great, or it may be great for somebody else, but it may not be great for you. So at the end of the day, the secret to your next is going to be found in your ability to stay focused for a very long period of time, because the number one cause of failure is broken focus. It doesn't matter if you're looking at a relationship, don't matter if you're looking at somebody in school, doesn't matter if you're looking at somebody playing sports or somebody in business. When you see somebody that's falling off the grid, when you see somebody that's not going the direction that they used to go at one point, is because at some point along the journey, they lost sight of the goal and they got off track and they lost focus. And understand, the key to your next level, the secret to your constant success is going to be found in your ability to stay focused. And here's something else that I've come to understand. Most people have vision, or they have what they think is a vision. Most people have that. That's not the question. The reason why most people's vision don't come to pass is because they fail to realize that every vision is going to have an extreme level of focus. The bigger the vision, the higher the level of focus. The bigger the vision, the higher the level of discipline. The bigger the vision, the higher the level of sacrifice. So it's not good enough for me to just have this vision to become a multimillionaire. It's not good enough for you to just have the vision to become a multimillionaire. You must also bring to the game other key components that's going to allow you to manifest miracle status. And that's going to be, number one, the focus. That's going to be the discipline. That's going to be the commitment, the sacrifice, the determination, the grit, the hunger. It's so many words and attributes that you can throw out. But at the end of the day, the reason people fail in whatever the endeavor that they're going through is because they lose focus, right? And again, most people is not that they lack vision or they don't have vision or that they don't have goals. They just fail to come to the understanding that, hey, this goal that I have of becoming a successful entrepreneur, it is going to require extreme focus, right? So I have to be able to discern what deserves my time and what does not deserve my time. I have to be able to discern who deserves my time and who doesn't deserve my time. Because if this relationship, if this event or this environment that I'm in, if it's not conducive to me going to the place that I want to be going, then this is something that could hinder me from getting there because it's going to take away my focus. I want you to write that word down like a couple times on your paper, because if you get that, then you're now a step closer to becoming successful. Because again, family, everybody has a dream. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has, to some degree, they have a vision. If you're a part of this opportunity, like without a doubt. But the thing is, can you stay focused on it long enough? Can you maintain belief long enough? There is something very special about a human being that can maintain belief in an environment of unbelief. Can you think about that? There's something extremely extraordinary about a person who can be in an environment of disbelief, but they can still somehow, some way believe. And see, people like that are the ones that become legendary. People like that are the ones that become great. People like that are the ones that have statues made of them. MLK, Nelson Mandela, Rocky. Like he an actor, and Rocky got a whole statue built, and he's not even a real, that's not even a real story. But because Rocky maintained his belief in an environment, in the ring that was opposite of what he was really believing for, now a fictional character who he only watched in movies, no real life, not real at all, but because he maintained his belief in an environment of unbelief and had the fortitude to stay focused on winning the matches when they really mattered. That's the thing. See, you're not going to win every single fight. You're not going to win every single battle. And remember, every battle is a mind battle. So you may not win every single one, but even when you lose a mind battle, can you still stay focused on the end goal? Even when things are not going your way, can you still stay focused on the end goal? Even when the back office isn't going your way, can you still stay focused on the end goal? Can you maintain focus and belief even when the environment, even when the situation tells you to do the complete opposite? Because remember, family, you don't even know if you really believe until an opportunity shows up to make you question, do you really have belief? You don't really know if you're focused until another opportunity shows up that may look good. And sometimes the opportunity that shows up that could look good, it could be the opportunity to throw in the towel. See, sometimes that opportunity looks really, really good to people. Like, this ain't working. The monthly keep hitting me. I'm going to just throw in the towel. It sounds good and it may look good, but that's not good. It's not good because you're in the midst of greatness. So the thing with focus, you have to be able to focus on the great thing and sometimes ignore the thing that seems good at the moment. And sometimes quitting can seem like it's a good option. But as soon as you quit one time, you run the risk of being a quitter again. And when you quit again, you're going to run the risk of quitting again. It's so funny that I even just brought that up. Last night, my wife and I, we're on the couch and we're just having, husband and wife talk. And we just get engaged in conversation about, fatherhood, childhood, parents, and all that kind of stuff. And we got to talking about my childhood as I was playing in sports. And I brought up something that happened when I was in middle school. All right. So in middle school, I played quarterback. Right. If my mom is on the line, she can probably attest to this story. I played quarterback. My 7th grade year in middle school, that was the first year my middle school went to the playoffs in like 10 years. Right. So the following year, I come back as an 8th grader. I'm like big dog. I got a little bit of ego, got a little pep in my step and all that. And so I didn't really know how to handle adversity, right? Because my whole entire life, I never really lost in football. Like every year we was winning the championships or getting like right there at it. So I never really had like losing seasons and all of that. So my 8th grade year comes around and we don't do as well as we do my 7th grade year. And so this is something I never really talk about because I just thought about it. But it's so funny to see how this thing played out in my life, because again, if you quit one thing, if you don't fix that, it'll lead you to quit something else, right? So 8th grade season is like maybe close to the end of the season. And I get into an altercation on the field. And I think we're losing this game by maybe a touchdown or whatever. And mind you, I'm playing quarterback. So I'm like the captain of the whole entire offense. Something happens on the field. I make the decision to quit on my team in the middle of the game. Like I literally walked off the field. It's time still on the clock. We down by a touchdown. We got a chance to win the game. But because I never really battled with adversity before, when the first sign of opposition showed up, when the opportunity that looked good at the moment to quit showed up, because I felt like quitting would help me feel better. I felt like quitting would be the best way out, even though the game is not over. Even though my team is depending on me, even though my coaches, my mentors are depending on me, they want to see me win. The opportunity to quit in the face of adversity looked so good that I decided to quit on my team at 12 years old, 8th grade. 12 years old, 8th grade. That was the first time I had ever quit anything in my life. First time. But you know what happens? The root of the situation, the root cause of why I quit was never resolved. The true reason, what I was really battling with at that time, it was never resolved. So years go by. I'm not 12 years old anymore. Now I'm like 18 years old. So now 6 years have passed. And the thing that I did at 12, because it was never resolved, it found a way to show up again. Because if you quit one thing and not get to the reason as to why you're quitting or thinking about quitting, quitting could become who you are and it could show up again. So now I'm 18 years old and I'm in the same exact position. I'm at Georgia Southern University. GATA, go blue. This is my freshman year of college. I'm the only starter on the whole entire team. There's nobody starting on offense. I'm the only person starting. I played cornerback. I started 10 games as a freshman, right? Started 10 games as a freshman. Everything was all good the whole season. But at the end of the season, guess what I face again? I faced some adversity. I faced a challenge. I faced something that I didn't know how to respond to because I never dealt with the things that I used to go through. So I didn't know how to resolve this conflict in a way except quit, because the way that your paradigm is set up, it controls 60% of all your behavior. Everything that you do is based on the paradigm. So because at 12 years old, because my mind was so open, my mind was so young, and I quit, I thought that it was okay to just quit when things got hard. So guess what I do at 18 years old? As a starter on a Division I football team, the night before, we have bed check, right? The coaches come into the room and they check the room. And at Georgia Southern, when they did bed check, it couldn't be any lights on in the room. It could be a phone light, a night light, TV light, no lights. The team was ran by like a military guy. So anyway, my coach comes into my room, and as soon as he comes in, this devil, I used to have an Android. That devil Android lights up. If it was an iPhone, it probably wouldn't have lit up like that. But that devil Android lights up. And my coach just blacks out. And he's like, blah, 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 blah. He's going in. He said, you know what? You got morning runs at 5 a.m. You got morning runs at 5 a.m. And so the way my mentality was set up, I'm like, bruh, I'm not running for you at 5 in the morning because my phone light came on. I'm not doing it. And so now watch this. In my mind, what is the next best resort? What's the next best thing to do? You know, I'm just going to quit. I'm out. I'm just going to transfer. I don't got to deal with this. I started 10 games for y'all. I ain't got to deal with this. Bed check, run in the morning because my phone. No, I'm transferring. I'll go play somewhere else. If this is how we going to play, I'm going to play somewhere else. And guess what I did? The day that we were flying to North Dakota to play a playoff game, the day that we're getting on our flight to go to the game is the day that I quit on my team again for the second time. As a starter, I quit. So as people are walking to the football complex to get on the bus to go to the airport to fly to North Dakota, they see me walking back to my dorm room. And people are like, bro, excuse my French, but they're like, where the hell are you going? I'm like, bro, I'm done. It's over with. And they were like, bro, you was just at practice yesterday. Like, what are you doing? I said, bro, it's over. I'm transferring. And what was so crazy, my mom about killed me because when I quit on my team and I decided to transfer, I had no place to go. I literally just took a step on what I thought was faith. But it wasn't even faith. It was just me being just dumb. It was just me being dumb. But it worked out in my favor. But I don't want you to miss what I'm talking about here. Quitting is something that keeps showing up in your life. See, because I quit at 12, because I faced adversity, I thought it was okay to do it again at 18 years old. And I quit on my team again. So my whole point is, you have to stay focused in the midst of everything that is happening. Because again, quitting in one thing leads to quitting in something else. For you, it may not have been football, but there could have been something that you quit before. So now when the opportunity that looks good to quit shows up, you may take it because you think it looks good, but it's not the thing that's actually great. See, you staying grounded, you staying focused in this opportunity, that is the option that's great. The option to quit at the moment may seem good because you can pacify yourself and come up with all kinds of excuses as to why it didn't work. But at the end of the day, what the root was, you just couldn't stay focused. See, my root cause in both those situations where I quit at 12 years old and 18 years old as a starter, I wasn't riding the bench and quit. I did this as a starter, quarterback, and at defensive back. I quit on both teams twice because I couldn't stay focused. I couldn't stay focused on what was important. I couldn't stay focused on my reason why. And that's what you have to stay focused on. You got to stay focused on the reason why you're doing this. Because when opportunities show up for you to quit, you got to go back to your why and ask yourself, why am I here? Why am I doing this? What made me get started? Because for a lot of us, when we quit, we always go back to the thing that we were running from. You ever notice that? You ever notice all the people that quit your business? They just go right back to their job and they go right back to posting how they used to post. They go right back to hanging out with the people that they used to hang out with. Have you noticed that? Because that's what happens. You don't quit and just go do something greater. You quit and go back to the thing that you used to do. Why? Because your paradigm controls 60% of all human behavior. 60%. So if my paradigm have not flushed out bad habits, bad ways of thinking, bad associations, when I quit the thing that was helping me shift my paradigm, I'm always gonna resort back to the thing that I was trying to get away from. That's just how it works. So you gotta stay focused because watch this, your movement is tied to your focus. Write that down in your notes. My movement is tied to my focus. Now watch this. I didn't say what type of movement was tied to your focus because there is any movement, right? Any focus don't matter. So watch this. If you choose to focus on the goal, if you choose to focus on the vision, if you choose to focus on your why, what happens is because the vision, the goals, the why, because they're in front of you, watch this, this is so good. Because it's in front of you, the visions, the goals, the why, the dream home, the car, the money, the portfolios, the real estate, because all of that is in front of you and you're here, but this is what you're focused on, this focus is going to pull you there. So your forward movement is tied to your forward focus, your future focus, right? So you have to be focused on something in front of you so it can pull you forward, it can pull you out of your situation. But you know what most people do, Miss India? Most people only focus on what's in front of them right now, or they only focus on the thing that's behind them. They only focus on the past, the things that used to show up, or they only focus on the thing that's in front of them today. So if my movement is tied to my focus, my question is, where do you want your focus to be? If my movement is tied to my focus, where do I want my focus to be? Do I want my focus to be on the present, my present situation, my present bank account, my present trading account, my present GV, my present organization? Or do I, or watch this, is my focus on my old GV, my old organization, my old rank, what my bank account used to look like before X, Y, and Z happened, how my life used to be before COVID happened? Because your movement is tied to wherever you're focused. And a lot of people, they miss the future because they're only focused on the present or the past. You got to get to a point where the present becomes boring to you. That's where you got to get to. You got to get to a point where the present, the current state is boring to you. Listen, I talked about this before. Today is boring. It's very boring. But tomorrow, the future, that is what should excite you. Because if you get caught up on where you are right now, whether that be good or bad, you can never expect to have anything more. So, but watch this though. You can't fall into this trap. You can't fall into that trap of being so excited about the future that you negate everything that's happening in your now, and you fail to honor your now. You fail to love where you are. It's nothing wrong with having future focus, but it's something wrong with being so focused on the future that you don't honor where you are, that you don't respect where you are, that you don't love where you are, that you don't cherish where you are. Because a lot of us, what happens is we get so caught up on what this person has or what their rank is that we miss the grace that's being shown to us right now. So it's not enough to just have forward focus. You tie it in by having the forward focus, but being so grateful for the present. I don't focus on the present. I don't live my life based on the present, but I honor the present. I'm grateful for the present, but I'm focused on the future. That's where my focus has to be. Why? Because my movement is tied to wherever I'm focused. But if I'm focused on distractions, then my movement automatically goes to distractions because that's what I'm focused on. Watch this. Whatever you give attention to, you give increase to. Whatever you give attention to, you give increase to. Whatever you give attention to, you give increase to. So if my attention is on the future, then somehow, some way, the future is what increases in my life. But if I give attention to the distractions, if I give attention to what's not happening, then that is what increases in my life. Why? Because attention has to do with one word, and that one word is focus. See how everything just goes back to focus? So what you got to understand is that if I want to get there, that's what I have to focus on. See, the best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. But the best way to manifest the future is to focus on it. See, I can predict it, right, by me creating it in my mind. But that's not enough. For me to actually manifest it, I got to focus on what I'm predicting. So if I predict this to happen, that's what I have to focus on, because my focus is another word for attention. And whatever I give attention to, I'm going to give increase to. So you got to make a decision on what you're going to focus on. Because at the end of the day, right, your focus is so important. And the reason why people fail in life, the reason why people don't step into their vision is not because they don't have one. It's not because they don't have goals. I believe everybody on this call has a goal written down somewhere around their house. I believe everybody on this call has some type of vision board or vision environment, or you got some pictures in your phone of things that you look at, right? So it's not that. Everybody can do that, but can you focus on that though? And can you maintain your belief? Can you maintain your focus when everything around you is telling you to focus on something else? When everything around you is saying, maybe you should throw in the towel. It's not working for you right now. I'm just imagining the people in 2009, 2010 that had hundreds of Bitcoins. Hundreds. Because Bitcoin was $25, $50, $115, $200. People had hundreds. But because they couldn't maintain their belief in an environment of unbelief, when the media, when everybody in the communities are saying that Bitcoin ain't gonna do nothing, the news saying Bitcoin ain't gonna do nothing, and guess what they do? They sell their Bitcoins. And now Bitcoin is trading at $16,800 per coin. But I see people shaking their head, but watch this. That's going to be some people a part of this company because they haven't recognized that they have a Bitcoin, but they only paid $235 for it. You have information that can help you acquire not just Bitcoin, all the coins. You have a platform that can help you earn crazy amounts of income on a weekly basis. Networks of people, the value that you receive. But in the next 10 years, you could be one of those same people that sold their Bitcoin. But you didn't have to necessarily sell your account. You just quit. Just how they quit on Bitcoin. Just how some people, not even 10 years ago, 3 years ago, quit on Bitcoin. 4 years ago, quit on Bitcoin. Or whatever investment you want to name. Whatever opportunity you want to name. At the end of the day, you just have to stay focused when everything tells you opposite. When the back office tells you opposite, when your bank account tells you opposite, you just got to stay focused. And then action always follows a focus. That's the thing about focus. Focus always leads to action. There's nothing that you can keep focusing on, right, that you don't want to take action on, that you don't want to show up in your life. Why? Because I'm focused on it. The more you see it, the more you want to become it. The more you see it, the more you want to be it. So if I keep focusing on that thing that I want, at some point, that thing that I want has to show up in my life. It has to manifest in my life. There's an opposite for everything. The opposite of spirit is physical. The opposite of spirit is physical, right? So I have this goal in my mind, which is spirits. Everything has an opposite. So the thing that is for a period of time spiritual, at some point it has to become a physical manifestation. Why? Because everything has an opposite. For every good, you have bad. Left, you have right. Up, you have down. Spirit, you have physical. So your goal right now is spiritual. It's in your mind. You can't necessarily see it. But the opposite of spiritual is physical. But the only thing that we have to do is constantly focus on that thing that we want. Actions follows focus. And at some point, The spiritual thing is going to manifest into the physical thing, just like Jesus. I don't want to preach tonight, so I ain't going to preach. But I could have preached right there, but I'm not. I'm not going to preach. But Jesus was at one point spiritual. He was once just an idea. He was once just talked about by the prophets, by the great people. Hey, there's somebody coming. And over the course of time, over the course of people talking about it, over the course of people believing that a savior was coming, over the course of time, though, it didn't happen overnight. It happened over time. That thing that was spiritual became physical. And over the course of time, the thing that's in your mind that is spiritual today, if you keep focusing on it, you keep believing it, is going to manifest into the real thing. We listen, we're under the God of manifestation. I love how the word manifestation has man in it, and then he manifested a man named Jesus. But listen, I'm not gonna preach. I'm not gonna preach. I could have preached right there, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna save it for the lifestyle leap, because at the lifestyle leap at the event, that's when I'm going to release on the family what 2021 looks like, what the word for 2021 is. I already got it. I already got the whole thing crazy. Right? So I ain't gonna preach today, but on the 28th, I'm probably gonna preach. I'm not gonna lie to you. So make sure you get a ticket, and I will see you there. Tickets are on sale again. Make sure you go to the link, get your tickets. Don't buy one for just you, buy one for people that you want to have at the event with you. And it's going to be, this is our convention. That's how I want you to look at it. This is our team convention. Right? So we're going to have recognition and have great trainings, great speakers. And I'm excited for every person that's going to be with us physically there, and also for the people that are going to be there in spirit. So let's have an amazing week. I love you all. Be on the lookout for all the stuff that's about to be happening in our organization over the next few weeks. It's about to get nuts. But listen, love you all, and I'll see you at the bank. Good night. God bless.